school. Peyton Manning hit you on that bootleg.
Oh my God!
You
Can you imagine getting Reggie Bush by like Tom Brady?
Hit you with the dead leg. Oh my God! That would be all bad. All right, welcome into the Pay Dirt Profile podcast. This is number 2. We got the whole crew here today. We got video going. We got the whole connection. So this is Dante.
Kyle.
Jamar.
I'm Tony.
And we're going to get into some stuff today. We're going to talk a little bit about the fight we had for the UFC this weekend. We're going to get into a little bit about some nightmare scenarios from some of our favorite football teams. What could they do in free agency or the draft that would just be awful, something that we shake our heads at, something that we, would be pissed off or infuriated at, and something that might just make us not want to, watch this team anymore. So before we really get into the nitty-gritty stuff, like what do you guys think about this weekend?
A good sports weekend, really. Some good fights. Well, one good fight, one not so great. But
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I watched the fights. I was working here in San Diego doing some soccer and rugby games, so I didn't get to watch too much on TV, but the fights were great. I got home just in time for the main event, and then everybody was freaking out about the forehead, and I was like, I gotta find this fight somewhere.
this dude was cracking up on the couch.
I was
sit up straight.
I was at a spot and when I eat and I get really full and I laugh at something, I literally die. I'm gonna cry if I'm laughing at anything. So I was looking at stuff and I couldn't even speak. I would just show it to him, and then just it was all bad.
All the memes.
Yeah, it was all bad.
I didn't even watch the fight at all, but I started seeing that go off on social media, and I was like, yo, I gotta see what happened, because this is ridiculous.
What happened? She got punched in the face a lot.
This is unreal.
Too many times.
Too many.
This dude Kyle tried to tell us though. He was like, "Yeah, I think I could go in there. I think I could take her."
No. that wasn't the argument. The argument was, if you're gonna go in there, one, it takes some money. But the real thing, I don't want to get punched in the face. I'm not gonna take any leg kicks. The only real thing, you want to go and you want to try and wrestle, take someone down.
So you're doing like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Right.
like a ground only match.
Well, no. Okay, so we're talking about these chicks. We don't want to fight them, straight up. But if you had to go in there and fight them, you don't want to get punched in the face. You saw that forehead?
Now they're asking money.
But
So you think you could beat it? You think you could beat her?
no. But I was saying the best chance to beat her was try and wrestle her.
The best chance is
You
to
just
not
use
step in the ring.
Just use your extra weight on. They're 115.
You would be in an arm lock so fast.
I'd rather take that than get punched in the face a lot. Or I think worse, kicked in the leg.
Okay, but
No one's
not
prepared
saying...
to be kicked in the leg like that.
No, bad knees.
He got the Achilles.
The Achilles.
The low calf kick.
So you're not saying that you think you can go in and win. You're just saying if I was put into the ring.
I think that would be the best chance any of us had.
So how much money would you need to get into the ring at all?
Oh, $500,000? Oh, we're talking about. I mean, it would take a little bit of money.
In a full fight? Full fight. Kicks,
televised
kicks
on the
punches.
on ESPN Plus.
Kicks, punches, everything.
Yeah.
What does it take to get you in the ring?
Oh, just to straight up get in there? I mean, $250,000. Maybe less. I mean, we were talking about it. Could get embarrassed too.
Yeah.
You could be.
I'm not trying to get embarrassed.
So you gotta get some money for that.
Yeah.
But
I'm telling you, one leg kick.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Done. I'm tapping
what he
myself out.
What he also says, you're not allowed to tap out.
Yeah, you say,
you can't tap.
No, you can't
but
tap for nothing.
It has to be like a legitimate hold. Like you can't tap out to leg kicks. Like
oh man, I'm out.
But I'm pretty sure that leg kick is gonna feel like you broke your leg.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's the
for
thing.
Sure.
You gotta get onto the ground somehow.
So two
get
leg kicks
close.
I can tap out in the
you
same
might
spot.
Be out anyway.
Did you see Uncle Romero's leg?
Oh,
Come on.
Well, man, trying to He was running around the beach volleyball court after.
Oh my
Couldn't even
God.
move.
My favorite was when he came on and he was like in his like broken English, and no disrespect to him learning and trying his best, but like sitting here talking about how homeboy was ducking him is like, it takes two to tango, bro. We watched you sit here like
Broken controller.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, let me put some more batteries in this Xbox One controller. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we saw 2 fights. One of them was amazing, one of the best fights in UFC history, man or women, and then the other one was like, we probably could have done that. I mean,
No.
no, yeah,
No,
you're right.
nope.
You're
We were
right.
talking about 115 females. Not,
Yeah.
I mean, even that'd be a stretch.
Oh man.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything to get me in a ring with any.
Oh, there's an
competitor.
amount of money. There's an amount of
No
money.
amount. There has to be. Everyone has a number.
100 million.
Yeah, everybody has
Everyone has
Okay.
a number.
Okay, so there's a number.
There's a number. There's a
Million.
number.
50 million.
There's a number. Yeah.
Yeah, you just work it. Just keep working it down. Like
Let's
10 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
1 million.
That now we're getting close.
So there's
with a 115 female.
1 million. I mean, you can do a lot with $1 million.
Yeah.
House that he paid off.
I mean, you can't like retire, but like you
No,
get like
but
debt
Not in
free.
California.
You could probably pay off. You could pay off your house with that. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what we're talking. You gotta have enough to get embarrassed on national TV, but like get rid of all your bills.
So you need
Get
some
that
money for
Get clown for a while.
That embarrassment's lifelong, though. It's
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
So is that money.
You gotta save some for your children when they get clown when they turn 11 and they come up on these YouTube archives. Oh man,
Hey, is your dad the one that got beat up by the chick?
that was a long time ago, man.
You did it for some money.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it seemed like that would be a nightmare. Leading into like our nightmare scenarios, we got a resident expert in all things horror. I'm gonna pass it over to Jamar. I want him to let us know what movie equivalent would be a, something that would upset us or shake our head, something that would, really piss us off, and something that would be absolute nightmare. I would not be following this team anymore.
Well, would not. So we got the high end of the spectrum. Like, you're not gonna want to listen to anything else about this team.
Nope, we're done.
Right. Oof. So if there's a movie equivalent to that, like we done, gotta be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, it's
Okay.
over. There's pieces. Like, you're completely done.
All right.
Would have to be. Like, for me personally, like, everyone knows or you guys don't know because you don't know me, but
They
I'm
will.
a Charger fan, right? I'm still a Charger fan. I'm a diehard somehow, even though they're in LA now. But like, that type of scenario for me would be if they were to somehow figure out and bamboozle some way to get Phillip Rivers back on the Chargers.
Oh,
Oh my God! I swear to God. Like, it's obviously it's very likely not to happen, right? But I don't know, man. Like, that kind of terrifies me. Like, that's the end of my team. Like, I can't take another year of that. I really can't.
And it wouldn't be one year, probably 2 year contract.
Exactly.
Right.
So I got
You gotta
to
do
put more
it
than
twice.
once. Come on.
Oh,
That's my
man.
scenario.
All right. What about lead us into a like this would piss me off, and give us a movie equivalent to that for the Chargers.
Something that would just make me mad. Something that's killing me with the Chargers is regarding like the O-line and training staff. Like,
Oh,
the training staff is so rough with the Chargers. I already know what's gonna happen next year. Like, it's pretty frustrating. So, a movie equivalent to that for me is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
It is a legit nightmare. It kind of keeps me up at night 'cause I know it's coming.
So what about like something that's like I'll just kind of shake my head at it.
There's like been some analysts that have been talking earlier today about the Chargers picking up Tua. I'm not the biggest fan. I think it's a huge risk, really, with him. It's one of those things that's like, it's not gonna surprise me. Like, I can see it coming.
Right.
But I'm just not a big fan of it. Me personally, I'd kind of be the safe route and go with Herbert, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that kind of, from movie-wise, for a horror film standpoint, kind of reminds me of The Grudge. I don't know if y'all seen The Grudge, but there's moments in this movie where, like, you'll be watching it and you can hear the stare or the jump scare about to happen, and you know it's coming, and it's like, all right, it's gonna happen, and you're gonna miss it just because you don't know when it's gonna happen, and it's gonna startle you, but at the same time, you knew it was happening anyway.
Right.
That's happening with Tua. Like, I see it coming. It might happen. I don't want it to, but if it happens, it happens.
No, those are real good movies. We got a good start. So we got Shaking Your Head would just be The Grudge. It's gonna piss me off would be Nightmare on Elm Street scenario, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre is I'm out all the way out.
Yeah, big brain fill it back. Oh my god.
Let's go with you, Tony, resident Vikings fan.
Yeah, Minnesota. So this one's tough for me because we're in a weird place in Minnesota where like got some things that like could happen, but like to me the biggest mistake, the thing that would frustrate me the most and kind of be the scariest thing would be kind of the equivalent to it, like just creepy clown like in the gutter like just stalking me, like, oh come on, that's creepy, would be Mike Zimmer, getting rid of him. I know it's not a player, I know it's not a draft pick, a new guy, anything like that, but to me that guy should be the coach in Minnesota for the rest of his career until he says quit. And if we get rid of him, that's my nightmare, because we don't need this young gun, offensive coordinator star to come in who's 23 years old and be like, oh, I can run a football team. No, give me the best defensive coach in the NFL, arguably.
Best defensive coach?
Pretty close.
That's good.
There's a guy called Bill Belichick who's also in the NFL.
That popped into my head like as soon as those words came out of my mouth. But
I got you.
Top
He's
five.
very good.
Okay.
Top three.
Okay.
Like, his defenses are always solid.
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
So if you got rid of him, that's the creepiest. That's the scariest thing that you could do for me, because then we're completely starting over.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want a Kingsbury type?
No.
We'll trade you.
My messed up moment is scary movie. Let's see, what would that be the equivalent to? Probably Scary Movie, where it's like, no, that's got to be my last one. I don't know. I'm not a big horror film guy, honestly.
So you can just go with his options.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what we started with his.
His second option. His second
Street.
option is re-signing Xavier Rhodes. If that dude is on our team for any more extended period of time than he has to be, if we give him any dollar, one single dollar that is more than his contract, I am out. Fortunately, I think everybody feels that way, seeing that he was the worst corner in the league last year.
They were sitting him out toward down the stretch. They were sitting him out of games at crucial times when he wasn't even really hurt. And it was why they would pan to him on the sideline, why is he out? He should be guarding Devontae Adams or this big time receiver, and it was because he's trash.
Yeah, and I mean there were games that I was at that I watched him, and we all talked about it during the season. I was like, if I was an offensive coordinator, every single pass play would go to Xavier Rhodes this year. Mm-hmm. Previous years, no way. Right. Don't throw to him.
Good.
Right. But this year, oh man, I just don't know if he can keep up anymore. And the rumor mill states that he kind of got his ego shocked in the Eagles NFC Championship game a couple years ago. Yeah. That was when he said to himself I can't keep up anymore.
Alshon let him have it.
Yeah.
Over and over.
It's not a position you can not have confidence in either. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to be the guy that they want locking solos down.
Yeah.
It's It's tough.
And then my scary thing that I can kind of see coming is giving Kirk Cousins more money.
Oh God.
I think it's just bound to happen. Like, it's not. I'm not happy about it. Like Tua, like I'm just watching everything, and I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna try and pick up some sort of quarterback this year, put him in the system. We could get Teddy back.
Hey, that's actually not a bad idea.
Dude, we never should have let him go. That's my
That's how I
opinion.
feel about Drew Brees.
But
Oh man,
That's
we're gonna have talk more talks about that.
that's a 2-hour podcast.
I know, right? Oh man.
But yeah, that's my like. I see the scare coming, and I really don't. I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, like, he's not atrocious. Like, let's just not pay him $33 million. Like,
31.
let's go 27 maybe. Like, let's knock the next round down.
Right.
And be like, hey, you didn't do anything here. Like,
Yeah.
in your 3-year contract,
He did outplay Drew Brees in the
Yes.
playoffs last year.
Yes, he did.
There's some other stuff.
Yeah, but
Drew Brees stuff.
there's some other
Stat
things.
padding too.
Those are my scenarios for sure.
Alright, I think we talked about it a little bit, Kyle. Why don't you give him your Arizona Cardinals scenarios?
So not a big horror movie guy, but I do like the Purge franchise, and
I respect it.
Kime and Bidwell and the organization, they did a nice job as the founding fathers, the new founding fathers, and they purged the whole team last year. Got new to save Kime's job. They got rid of Wilkes, got rid of Rosen, got Murray in there. I think there's room to improve. Big scenario I would not be happy to see for the most part is if they screw up this O-line situation again. Draft an O-lineman with your first round pick.
Don't get cute.
Don't get a receiver. Don't do it.
Wait, you don't want CD Lamb to pair
I like
with
CD.
Kyler?
I like CD Lamb, but no, we don't need him. We don't need him. So that would be a big time no for me. Even if we can get a tackle in free agency, draft a tackle in the draft. You can't trust DJ Humphries, and go from there. Have some extra guys in there that you can maybe move on to if you need to. From there, those guys kept their job. I like to see them improve the defense. Someone move Hassan Reddick to a rush end spot. You missed on him already. Give him one last chance. Get someone at linebacker. That'd be a best case scenario. And then everything's going to flow from there. And then, if you can see it coming, you can see them probably doing something like that in the first round.
Mm.
Drafting a receiver, overdrafting someone like that. That's where I see him. Be rough to see, but if this dude kind of keeps his job continually after missing on first round picks, it's something you can see going on.
So, all right. Well, as a Falcons fan, I think my my first tier would probably be if we went into the season with Devontae Freeman as our starting running back. We talked on the last pod about Will Fuller. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you being on this team. Devontae Freeman, thank you. You worked really hard. Nice work ethic. You gave it your all. Deuces, my man. Like we don't need to see him run into back in alignment anymore. Like, I know we have struggled on the O-line a little bit, but there's also holes to be had. Smith was doing it. Brian Hill was doing it. Yeah. We should just go another direction. If he wants to be still a part of the team and we have him as the 1B or the change of pace guy, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if he's our answer, if he's our dude, in 2020, like that's gonna be depressing. Second level, we've had a lot of people kind of mock us, AJ Epinesa or Caleb Von Chase on to play edge at 16. But just recently, after the combine happened, C.J. Henderson in the corner out of Florida started to get mocked to us because we struggled a little bit there. I'm not a huge Desmond Trufant fan. I feel similarly to the Devontae Freeman role, and I appreciate everything he's done, but we need a little bit better production there. C.J. Henderson is a tall, lanky, rangy corner, great in coverage, but homeboy can't tackle. He can't tackle at all. Like, my wife Kelly can tackle better than C.J. Henderson, and it's not that he don't try; he's just not good at it. And like, I can't sit here and continue to watch our secondary have dudes in their arms and let them run for 40-yard touchdowns. I watch A.J. Brown do it. I watch Corey Davis, who was trash on my fantasy team all year, torch my Falcons and make me lose.
You started him that week, right?
No, I did not. I did not. So, I mean, I can't continue to watch, your last lines of defense as corners and safeties, guys being in the secondary, just whiffing on tackles. So I can't have a guy who is going to come in, high draft pick, might be able to cover pretty well, but, if we're down the field and a guy catches the ball and doesn't fall to the ground, he might take a 30-yard catch and tackle or take it 60 yards for a touchdown, and I can't have that. Nightmare scenario, there's no nightmare scenario that would make me not watch this team. I've been through 28-3, and that's the worst nightmare you could ever have. So
you did see that one coming.
oh my God, we were all there. We were all watching, and I forgot who it was. One of the friends were like, "Hey, you know what? You guys are up at half. Like, how do you feel? Not good. Hey, I've seen this movie before. It would be the best horror movie in the history of horror movies. to know exactly what's gonna happen in the end and still be terrified that it's gonna happen to you. Like, there would be no scenario that would make me not watch this team after that. So
I was there, and I can tell you that is the exact same feeling in the stadium.
Oh, I bet.
Literally, when we were all sitting there, we were watched the teams go back into the tunnel, and we all looked at each other and we're like, this game isn't over.
Nope.
Like, it's
the Patriots.
This is the Patriots.
And it's the Falcons.
I vividly remember this, sitting there, looking over, talking to the guy next to me and being like, yo, the Patriots are going to win this. Like, there's this fire that was in the stadium, and everybody knew it. It's crazy.
Maybe it's not a Falcons Patriots thing, Shanahan thing.
You know what? It can't be a Shanahan thing because we blew leads this year too. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, but the Super Bowl's
2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2 on blown Super Bowl leads. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, man. So I mean, I think we've all been, avid fans, and I think we've all kind of, sat down and thought about like what it would be like to actually like play in the league. We played football at all different levels, but to be a player in the league, like what would be like a nightmare scenario for you? Like when you had a homeboy from the Bears double doink the field goal to win the game against the Eagles in the playoffs. Like what would be a scenario for you, like a nightmare if you were a player on the field?
For me personally, as a receiver, you just think of someone just menacing in the secondary, trying to go up. Think of a guy like Sean Taylor.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be going across the middle with that guy.
Pre the new rules because they can't.
Oh yeah, when he was playing,
when Sean Taylor was playing.
Yeah.
But back when I was playing in college, I used to do that on the scout team sometimes. I got cleaned up a few times, and I was paying money for that. So I'd probably do it for free. But it'd be nice to have some money, some of that UFC money we were talking about. But I think that would be pretty scary, something like that. Screaming to take your head off.
Yeah.
Be wild.
I think my worst case scenario, I've got two. I'm going to come back to the second one in case somebody else takes it, but I don't think you will. My first one is just the Minnesota Miracle. Like, if I was that corner, on that field,
was it PJ Williams?
and you miss this wide open tackle, and like you just had to stay on your feet and push him out of bounds.
And
You
the game
didn't
is
even
over.
need to tackle him, and you dive at him for some reason, and he elevates to 12 feet in the air and just jumps over you like that. There's everybody, that's all they're gonna ever remember about you. You're that guy.
Straight up whiff.
Yeah.
The worst part is that they were telling him in the locker room, or at least the reports were like, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay." No, it's not okay. Don't
No,
tell
bro.
that man it's okay.
It's not week 3.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. This is the playoffs. We lost because of you.
Thank you for missing that tackle, though. That is still one of the greatest moments of my life. I every time I watch that clip online, I still get chills to this day.
Weren't you filming at that game?
My parents were at the game.
Oh, right.
I was here, but I had to. My wife was, we had a 8-month-old or something, and she was sleeping upstairs, and so was the baby.
Oh.
And I was downstairs, and I just had to be quiet. Because apparently I did not do a good job. I thought I did a great job, and then my wife told me, "No, you were really loud." But I was freaking out, running up and down in the house, and just like trying to scream, but not scream at the same time. Because
Sounds
it
like
was
one
so
of those
exciting.
Wild Wing commercials.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right. What about you, Jamar?
I think mine, like, me playing back in the day, and if I was in the league, would be like if I was an end, in a big game, if I was in the Super Bowl or whatever, and I allowed some long ridiculous run by a quarterback. I can't do it. It frustrates me.
The guy chasing him down.
I refuse.
Well, what about like unathletic?
That's even worse. Oh my god.
Phillips out right
I got Phillips running 50-yard dashes. Like, come on.
Oh man.
I couldn't let those happen. That couldn't happen.
They bring
that's
Landry
crazy.
Jones up and he outruns them.
Oh my God.
Nightmares about it.
Like Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, like those dudes, like they get you. It
You're gonna
happens
break
to the
your
best
ankles.
of us.
It's gonna happen.
Phillip
man.
or Tom Brady.
Oh my God, old school Peyton Manning hit you on that bootleg.
Oh my god.
You
Can you
walked
imagine
it in?
get Reggie Bush by like Tom Brady?
Oh.
Get you with the
Hit you with the dead leg. Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh
God.
man.
Yeah, no, that's my number one nightmare. That would drive me.
That's a good one.
I think for me, anything to lose a game, any walk off, anything is tough. I mean, the one that you gave was great. I mean, I think for me being a kicker would just be like this is what you're paid to do. Like everybody else has a way to affect the game in multiple ways to the point where like if you throw a bad pass or you throw an interception, like even if that's the last play of the game, you could probably look at other plays where you did well. Like, unless you're a kicker who made 8 field goals and missed the last one, like, there's not very many times that you can affect the game positively all throughout and then blow it at the end. Like, for me, to be in a spot where you lose in a game where maybe it was one of those hard-fought defensive games, and you lose, like, 6-3, and you missed 3, like to be in a spot where you could have won so handily, but you just couldn't do it. Like you see the Steelers like so often get to a point where they miss a field goal and then they're like, "F it, we're going for 2." Like to be in a spot where like, I missed so many field goals in this big time game that they're like, I'm not even going back to this guy anymore.
Never trust the kicker.
Yeah, that would be tough for me. That would be tough for me. So, what about your number 2? We took it.
No. Nope. Butt fumble.
Oh,
Go
no.
viral.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine like being Mark Sanchez? Like that play, it was like the not top 10 for like 2 years or something.
Oh
like,
man, I know.
It
Defined his career.
They retired it. They like retired the play so it wasn't it would still be the number 1 not top 10.
Years later,
Like
a decade.
6 years later.
Oh man,
In current day, that would be awful.
a decade of dominance on the not top 10. Like,
Hey, you gotta be good at something, right?
be good at being bad. That's Mark Sanchez. Oh man. All right. Well, we got anything else? You guys see this coronavirus killing all these
Corona
NBA
flu.
games?
It's crazy.
The Corona seasonal flu.
Hey.
Nah, it's probably worse
March
than that.
Madness.
probably worse than that, but hey, you know.
I mean, it's not worse than that. It's just not controlled right now. There's no
Yeah.
way to stop it. But I mean, when they start shutting down, the NBA, when they start shutting down NCAA tournaments, like, I mean,
What
I think
about
it's
vacation?
it's a smart thing to do. But man, it's kind of crazy. Like in our lifetime, nothing like this has ever shut anything down like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I mean, Jamar brought it up beforehand where you see like the memes and they're talking about like every time there's an election, there's this big, outbreak of some sort. And I was talking to a coworker today and I was like, the thing is like people never acted like this though. Like I felt like the swine flu was way more serious. Like it was a much more serious thing. People, our age were dying. Like right now, word up to elderly, but like only people who are above 80 plus are dying basically. We haven't seen too many instances of people who are young or in good health that are dying. So I think it's been a little bit of sheep mentality where everybody's rushing out to get the toilet paper because it's a zombie apocalypse happening or something.
First
like
of all,
that.
why is it toilet paper?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
most.
What's
That's the
the-
most necessity.
If shit goes down, you're not
It's the
worried
least
about
of your
wiping
worries.
your butt. You better have some water. You better have some canned food or something.
Oh my
A
god.
lighter.
Yeah.
Figure out the toilet paper situation.
I guess we'll have to see. I mean, it might look like a bad take later on, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, if things are getting shut down more and then all of a sudden, people our age are passing away or kids or infants are passing away, like that would all be terrible. And I think everybody acknowledges that possibility. But as of right now, like, I think that, what they're trying to do and shut things down is a good idea, but like the reaction by the public has kind of been outrageous. So
At this point in time, yes.
yeah. So I mean, they'll continue to shut down NBA games, I guess. We'll
They're
see.
trying to take away LeBron's MVP.
I know, right?
He's coming for it.
They're
He's
gonna put an
coming for it.
asterisk. They're trying to let Giannis get healthy so he can come back and make sure to win his MVP. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a wrap for us. I mean, number 2, got some videos in. We're gonna drop these coming up here soon. Hopefully we get a nice following, people sharing the podcast and tweeting us out. I mean, we'll have to come out and get some email questions and tweets and different things and start reacting to some of those things. So until next time, this is Dante,
Kyle.
More.
Tony.
and we're out.